Welcome to Season 5 of Pants Around Ankles Prevention, where my mission is to help you keep your pants securely buckled and avoid that unexpected, awkward, and embarrassing moment when you realize suddenly that they're not. This season, we're going to do things a little differently with Shorts Around Ankles Prevention. Quick, power-packed episodes designed to deliver a punch of truth to help you wake up to a new perspective. Let's see what today's short has in store. Being stuck is not the problem. Being stuck is not the problem. It is a symptom. And working on symptoms rarely solves the problem. It may effectively mask it for a while, but the root cause remains. And so what is this root cause? Well, obviously, there's an infinite array of possible problem-symptom combinations, but very generically, the problem is usually very simple. We want the world to be a certain way, and it isn't. This could be work-related, relationship-driven, whatever. But we want the world to be a certain way, and it isn't. And what we experience are symptoms. Conflict, either internal, external, or both. Frustration, anxiety, anger, you pick. Now the stuckness appears because we want the world to be a certain way and it isn't, so we either live with it the way it is or we work to change it. And given the specifics of that situation, either of those solutions is in some way for us problematic. So we often deal with halfway measures and try to manage the symptoms, mitigate the conflict, reduce the frustration, manage the anxiety, suppress the anger, or let it explode, whatever. But these things don't provide a solution. Just like taking a pill can reduce the headache, it doesn't address why we had the headache, which is the real problem. Stuckness can show up in our lives as boredom, irritability, or the loss of joy in things that once delighted us. These are not just emotional inconveniences, they're clues. As has been said by many, pain is a signal. But there's a part of this whole conversation so far that's completely missing, and it's important. When you are faced with a situation in which you feel you only have one option, you are, in a word, a robot. When you have two options, you have a dilemma. It's either this or that, and you don't like either. What is needed is a third option for you to have true choice. The philosopher Gregory Bateson famously said, "Without the possibility of a third option, there is no freedom." When you're stuck, it's often because your mind is presenting you with all these alternatives that all feel unsatisfying or impossible or not practical or whatever. And the key to getting unstuck is not to force yourself into one of these choices, but to cultivate the skill of generating new possibilities. You simply need more options. Okay. So when you're stuck, generating new options may appear to be difficult, because after all, if they weren't, you wouldn't be stuck. But here are two approaches you can use to stimulate your mind. First, assume all of your existing options are not just bad, they're not even possible. Take away the either or and make it neither. Now what do? This definitely will shift your thinking. Here's the second. Don't aim to create this third choice. Aim to create 3 or 4 or more additional options. Now, that may well seem unrealistic when you start, but often when you do this, some of these extra options raise new quandaries. Well, if I do that, then I'll have to deal with this. Yeah, and often these additional quandaries tie back to the same issue that you started with, but in a way you didn't see until now. And this is a quandary, but you can handle. Presto. New options, more choices, new ways of looking at the dilemma. Inevitably, when trying to sort through all of the complexities of a truly complicated situation, one of our companions is fear. Fear is intended to be a healthy emotion. It's designed to protect us, but it can also paralyze us. The best-selling author Tim Ferriss has a great exercise he described in a very popular TED Talk, which you can see on YouTube. He calls it fear setting. This is the practice of analyzing a given fear and helping you bring perspective to understanding its real merit in a particular situation. Indeed, apply the fear setting steps. They're super easy and quick to the issue that you're dealing with, and it often brings perspective. It sometimes resolves, it brings new choices, and with it, a bit of waking up can occur. So the talk's only about 13 minutes long. It isn't investing 13 minutes worth it to equip you with a solution that has eluded you so far. So the key to resolving stuckness is the generation of new additional options and the management of the fear that always seems to accompany moving forward in your life. And now you have new tools for dealing with both. If you'd like a deeper dive into this topic, consider subscribing to our newsletter, Waking Up, where we will explore it in even more detail. And if you found this episode helpful, be sure to subscribe to the podcast so you never miss an episode. See you soon.